Don't cut the sugar? Improving glucose uptake in the brain may lead to longer lifespan. Diet experts usually say cutting out sugar can help with weight loss and improve health. A new study from Japan, however, finds how our bodies use substances like glucose may be more important than cutting them out altogether. Researchers from Tokyo Metropolitan University say improving glucose uptake can significantly increase lifespans in fruit fly experiments. For humans, better glucose uptake in the brain may be the key to living longer and healthier lives. Study authors say older flies with better glucose uptake are able to compensate for the reduced motor function that naturally comes with age. This led to the insects leading longer lives in the experiment. When combining this with a better diet, researchers suggest this can lead to enhanced lifespans in older humans. How feeding the brain can feed your lifespan. When it comes to energy, the study finds the brain is a very power-hungry organ. It consumes 20% of the oxygen and a quarter of the glucose your body takes in. To keep everything powered, the body uses glucose, a simple sugar, to create adenosine triphosphate, ATP. These are energy couriers throughout the body which form through a process called glycolysis. As people age, brain cells become less capable of making ATP. Researchers say there is also a link between less ATP and less glucose coming into the body. Although health experts may recommend watching how much we eat as we age, the study suggests more food and more glucose may actually help fuel this ATP process. On the other hand, the Japanese team still acknowledges that a healthy diet also leads to a longer life. Their experiment tried to find the balance between these two competing philosophies. Using glucose better glucose long lifespan glucose uptake in brain neurons decreases with age, left, increasing glucose uptake in brain neurons counteracts aging, middle, increasing glucose uptake in brain neurons plus dietary restriction further extends lifespan, light. Credit. Tokyo Metropolitan University Associate Professor Kani Endo and her team examined the body's ability to convert glucose to ATP using Drosophila fruit flies. First, they confirmed that older flies have lower levels of ATP in their brain cells and a lower glucose uptake as well. Their study discovered that the cause was older flies having fewer enzymes needed for glycolysis. The team genetically modified flies to produce more glucose-transporting proteins called HGUT3. The results reveal having more of these particular proteins significantly increases the number of ATP in the cells. Additionally, the team discovered having more HGUT3 present helps to slow the decrease in glycolysis enzymes that occurs during old age. Although this did not stop the normal damage which takes place in the cells as organisms age, the fruit flies suffered from fewer problems with their motor functions thanks to better glucose uptake. Balancing in a better diet in a second part of the experiment, the team also put the flies with better glucose uptake on a restrictive diet. Those flies enjoyed even longer lifespans. Researchers find that increasing glucose uptake in the body did not actually send more glucose to the brain cells. Instead, Endo and the team believe improving glucose uptake helps the body use the glucose it consumes more efficiently. This in turn helps the brain to make the energy it needs to keep functioning for years and years. Just 10 minutes of exercise a day during middle age can protect brain function later in life. As we age, many people try to keep their mind sharp through reading and solving puzzles. A new study finds working out may help the mind just as much as it helps the body. Researchers from Columbia University Irving Medical Center say just 10 minutes of physical exercise a day in middle age helps protect the brain from decline. Study authors say regular physical activity, such as walking briskly, running, or cycling, from middle age onwards can result in less brain damage 25 years later. Their findings, published online by the journal Neurology, suggest greater amounts of moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity have a protective effect on the brain. Our study suggests that getting at least an hour and 15 minutes of moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity a week or more during midlife may be important throughout your lifetime for promoting brain health and preserving the actual structure of your brain, study author Priya Palta says in a statement to SWNS. In particular, engaging in more than 2.5 hours of physical activity per week in middle age was associated with fewer signs of brain disease. Working out can limit brain damage. The study involved more than 1,600 people with an average age of 53. Each person attended 5 physical examinations over 25 years. The participants also rated their weekly activity levels once at the start and again at 2 later times. Each person reported the amount of time they engaged in moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity, which researchers classified as none, low, middle, or high. Study authors then examined brain scans which measured the participants' gray and white brain matter. The tests also revealed if a person had lesions, injuries, or disease in the brain. After adjusting for certain lifestyle factors, people who reported no moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity during midlife had a 47% greater risk of developing brain lesions 25 years later compared to those reporting high levels of moderate to vigorous intensity activity. Lesions are small areas of damage in the brain. Researchers looked to see how much damage had accumulated in the brain's white matter. White matter consists of nerve fibers that connect different brain regions. The results reveal a connection between higher activity levels and more intact white matter in the brain. Exercise fuels brain function. The team also examined the movement of water molecules in a person's brain tissue. Participants who reported high moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity in midlife had movement that was more beneficial to their brain function than those who did not exercise. Our results show that staying active during midlife may have real brain benefits, Dr. Palta adds. In particular, consistently high levels of midlife moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity were associated with fewer brain lesions in later life. Previous studies suggest that the cause of brain lesions may be inflammation or other damage to the small blood vessels in the brain. Our research suggests that physical activity may impact cognition in part through its effects on small vessels in the brain, Palta concludes. This study adds to the body of evidence showing that exercise with moderate to vigorous intensity is important for maintaining thinking skills throughout your lifetime.